Well, today down in the barn, I'm working on a chessboard for my son-in-law. He asked me to make him a board for my granddaughter so I could teach him how to play chess, and hey, I'm all for that. I never learned how to play chess, so it'd be kind of cool that they did. This walnut is at least 70 years old, came from a local farm. A good friend's grandfather had this tree taken down and milled, and I was able to get a little bit of it. I knew the grandfather, and he was a really very good woodworker and had a really neat shop, and I used to go hang out with him. He's gone now. Maple and walnut is where I'm beginning. The maple I got from a local hardware supplier. As you can see my shadow there off the lights. But anyway, I love working with this wood like this, especially when it's got a grain pattern. And we got the coffee going. It's a little warmer today than it was yesterday. A little bit of Christmas music. Got the decorations up, man. I tell you what, we got Christmas going on down here in the barn. Have a good day today. Well, I made me a little router sled jig out of a piece of scrap plywood and a piece of scrap wood here. That thing's a little out of whack there, but I'm going to run this through the planer. It's been about 4 hours since I glued it, so I'm going to run it through there, and if we get it all nice and smooth, I'll do the other one that's over there, and we'll get the two pieces glued together, so tomorrow I can cut them and make it into the pattern for the chessboard. Okay, glue up number 2 is done. Tomorrow morning I'll cut this into 2-inch squares. I got some sanding to do. The planer sled didn't work as good as I wanted it to, but it did work. But I'm gonna have to let this thing glue up overnight, and then I'm gonna be cutting it and re-gluing it again, and I got a whole lot of sanding to do, but it's a lot smoother than it was. The wood was kind of warped. You know, of course, it's been laying around for a while, good many years on the walnut. Maple, I've had a couple years. But it's still some pretty wood. Once I get some finish on this thing, man, it's going to be beautiful. I'm going to see about making a border. I don't know how good I am at doing all this stuff, but I'm trying. I'll talk to y'all later. Well, good morning, afternoon, whatever it is. It's almost afternoon here. It's not quite noon yet. I'm down in the barn working again this morning. After I got off at 9. It's about getting close to 11. I want to bring something to you. I have a disaster on my hand, but I wanted to show you something first. This is walnut. This piece of walnut, these 2 pieces of walnut here, came from a neighbor's down at the bottom of the hill. I'm on the top of a hill. He's in the creek valley. He had a whole bunch of walnut harvested off his land. I think it's close to 40 trees. Of course, the lumber company, the logging company only wanted the premium pieces and left a lot of stuff laying around. I went down there. This is the very first cutting board I ever made. I made it 7-8 years ago. I couldn't tell you exactly how long ago it was, but I took a chainsaw and cut a crotch of the walnut in two with a chainsaw and milled it. My daughter has the other half of this at her house, and this is more of a display piece than you can see from the backside. All the I forgot what they call it, but anyway, it laid down there for a couple days, a while. The spalting, yeah, the spalting right here. This piece here, I also cut probably a couple years ago. It came from the same place. This is going to have some epoxy, but I'm going to have something out. I'm going to make something out of this. That's just too cool of a piece. Look at the feather. Again, this is from the stress of the tree, the branches moving in the wind and stuff, and the stress created all this. And then you got your branches that come off the side here, and the spalting from it laying down there. It's got some. This is going to have some work done to it, but I'm going to make something out of it. This is I've made I made quite a few cutting boards, and I've given them all away except for just a couple. I need to make me another one. But my son-in-law asked me for a chessboard, and as you see, I'm in the middle of a chessboard. I thought, man, that's going to be easy. I made enough cutting boards. I thought I could do this. Well, it turned out it's not. I've had several disasters on this thing, and it's not working out the way I want it to. This piece here is pretty good. I have a nice smooth. It's got a little bit more sanding to do. I probably got just a few little cracks, but I've figured something out. I wanted 2-inch squares. I want my squares to be 2 inches. I'm going to set you all up right here so I don't have to hold on to this camera and keep moving it around. I didn't notice this table moves when I do this. So let's see how this works out. All right, so I wanted 2-inch by 2-inch squares. We need 8 of them. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8 this way. I don't have 8 this way. Because when you cut this, you know what happens? I made it exactly the width I needed, but you didn't account for one thing, the width of the blade. So I ended up with a narrow piece. It's not 2 inches. It's not even close to 2 inches. And then when I did, some of the pieces came apart. The glue didn't stick to them. I think it was right there. The glue didn't stick. I didn't do a very good job of gluing. So then I re-glued this. This is the pieces that didn't stick together. I glued them again, and it looks like I may have 1 or 2 off. This is how not to build. Don't build one this way. I've got this and messed up. I may even cut that piece and start all over. I want it to be right. It doesn't have to be perfect. So I have plenty of walnut and maple. I have plenty of walnut. The maple, unfortunately, I did buy this, and it is curved. It's got I bought 2 boards, and it's got a pretty good curve. I've had them for a while, though. But thankfully, I have more maple, and I have more walnut. This is another piece of walnut that was probably, this walnut here is probably like 70-some years old. Came off of another farm, probably 15 miles from here, that was sawmilled. I have a video about that. But I can see all kinds of mistakes on here. But I want this, my son-in-law asked, he's a engineer, and I'm gonna have to run this through a saw to get this all straightened up, and I see it's not gonna be long enough, is it? Gosh, this is not working out the way I want it to work out. I'm gonna either end up with a narrower piece. But sometimes you just gotta throw in the towel and say, Uncle. I haven't got that point yet, because I don't give up very easily. But I see this is not going to work out the way I want it to. I don't know what I'm going to do here. That's too short. I glued this morning. I wanted to figure out today. If you look right there, all these, my problem is right there. These 2 pieces right here. If I cut this off and re-glue it, can I make it work, or do I have to start all over again? I may have to start over again. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get one smooth edge, and let's see what happens there if I do it like that. No matter what, I'm too short right here. Dadgummit. Well, let me see what I can do with this thing. I'm going to turn it around here and see if we can make this work. Set my saw back up and see if we can salvage this piece. If not, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to start over again. Does that look like that'll work? So what I'm going to try to do is get me this nice smooth edge on this one edge. Yeah, that's all. Dadgummit. Well, see, I got extra here pieces, but I'm still off here. Man, I'll pause this. All right, well, here we go. So what I have learned is, width-wise, I actually have one extra piece here. I don't know if I can salvage any of this or not, but I need two wider pieces here. This, I can take this being a slight bit narrow, or I can't take this. I'm an amateur woodworker, but I was a mechanic for 45 years and I learned you don't give up, you just keep going, you keep trying, and it's not going to beat me. I told my students, I was also an automotive technology instructor for 20 years, and I told my students, I said, it's not going to, you can't let the car beat you, you got to beat the car, you got to be smarter than what you're working on. It's not a failure if you learn from it, it's only a failure if you don't learn from it, and I'm learning. I got a couple places right here that aren't right. It'll have to be all right. This is my first chessboard. It's going to make it, I'll make another one and I'll make it better. I'm going to learn from my mistakes here and what I did wrong. I'll make it wider the first time, cut it right the first time. I only got a couple places that are out of whack right here, but it's not the end of the world. And it is got a nice bow to it. This right here bugs me. I have to deal with this right here. I cannot have this narrower. Cut it off again, and then I'll figure something out. I got some more walnut. I have plenty of walnut and maple. I'll have to glue another piece up. I can glue this on. I may just glue this on. I think I'm going to run these through the planer, get these pretty smooth, and get them going after I cut this piece off. I'm thinking if I cut this off, I got 2, 4, 6, 8. So this row right here is all extra. I might be able to salvage, take this piece off right here, and turn it around right here. Think about this for a minute. You know, the biggest problem is you get in a hurry, and then that's when you make mistakes. I'm not trying to be in a hurry. I'm not rushed to do this job. I'd like to have it done for Christmas. I got a couple weeks. No, I don't. I have less time than that. But we'll make it work. We're going to get this done. And then I'll have to make another one. Because the next thing I got to learn or figure out is I want to try to put a border on it. I got a lot of different kinds of wood I can make a border. First chessboard. I knew it'd be a challenge. That's all right. So if I got these pieces here, this is good here. I'm gonna mark this so I don't mess it up. Good. So I'm going to cut this piece off right here without destroying it. How can I do this? Because that saw blade is going to give me the kerf. It's going to mess my kerf up. I'll tell you the first thing I'm going to have to do is cut this off, because this is not wide enough. I know where I messed up. I messed up this morning. No matter what I do, I may end up making another piece. I don't need all this, but if I cut it, I do have an idea. I may be able to do, we'll figure it out. I'm going to turn this off for a minute so I can figure this out, and then I'll come back. Well, here's where we're at. I've got a gap right here. I'm off slightly, but I can get everything lined up pretty good, and I got the width. This piece here will come off at some point. 2, 4, 6, 8. So I'm good on the width. I have a gap here because I used that little saw I've forgotten about. I had to take the side cover off because the blade come off. This is either going to be a genius or it's not going to work at all, and this would be a don't do it this way. But I'm going to take this. I'm going to glue this piece up just like that, and then I may have to cut just a slightly bigger shim to get this lined up. Are these lining up? These are lining up not too bad right there. I got just a little bit of a gap right there. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I can trim just a shade bit off of it. I was going to plan on shaving because these aren't smooth anyway, so I'll just take a little bit off each side here, square this whole thing up, and then I got to build a thing. I'm going to shim this. Keep your fingers crossed. See if this will work this way. Like I said, it's either going to work or it's not. I don't know which one, but we'll figure it out. So that's where we're at right now. I'm beginning to think this thing's got a curse on it. I don't know. I messed up on the planer. The planer grabbed it and shoved it through there sideways. and I had to fix it. I don't know. I'm gonna finish this thing. It's gonna be done, and then we're gonna start over. We may have to make another one at some point, but it's just aggravating because you want to do a good job, and then it keeps messing up and keeps messing up. But that's just part of it, man. You just got to pick up the pieces and move on. It's not. It's going to be the imperfect chessboard. This is how not to build a chessboard. I should have showed all the steps of this, but I'm not that good at it yet. I will get there. But anyway, it's like I said, it's frustrating to get to this point. I knocked the corner off because the planer grabbed it. I don't know why it did that. It's never done that before. So, well, YouTube family, I got two projects going on down in the barn. This chessboard, I've got some other video on it, has kicked my butt. And it's one of those things, when you look at it, when I look at it, I see every mistake I've made. I can go right, my eye goes right to them. Several mistakes, and I've had to cut this part, re-glue it. I think this is glue up number 6. I've learned what not to do. I have learned from my mistakes, and when if I ever build another one, I know what to do. This is walnut that's 70 years old. This is some maple I picked up at a hardwood supplier in Jeff City, Missouri, where not far